speaking of Gavin Newsom, he has just signed a new law, which I saw and I just, I can't stand this. Parents should have control over their children, not the government. The government should have absolutely no say in what if you're a parent, I'm going to be a parent soon-ish, right? I don't want the government telling me what I can or cannot teach my child. I want full control to teach my child and have them learn from me and not be indoctrinated by the state. Look at this bill. Newsom signs bill allowing children to hide sex operations and abortions from parents. That's right. He signed 2 bills on Wednesday relating to abortion rights, with both helping children hide medical information from parents. The first bill, AB 1356, will create new offenses arising from recording and photographing patients or providers within 100 feet of the entrance to a reproductive health services facility. The other, AB 1184, will keep patient information confidential for patients who are not the primary policyholder for their health insurance. Healthcare services that patients can keep confidential include reproductive health care and gender-affirming care, according to the governor's statement. Quote, California has been a leader in protecting access to sexual and reproductive rights. But as we've seen recently with unprecedented attacks on these rights, we can and must do more, Newsom said in his statement. It continues, I applaud the establishment of California's Future of Abortion Council and look forward to its important work to advance our state's leadership on this vital issue. I'm proud today to sign these 2 bills that demonstrate our dedication to strengthening and further protecting access to reproductive health care services in California. Look, I'm so frustrated because you leave the kids alone. You do not mess with people's kids. All right, Newsom? You're not the father of any kids or maybe, I don't know, does he have kids? If he does, I feel sorry for them because, my goodness. But it doesn't matter, right? If I lived in California, say I did, and I had kids, all right? Gavin Newsom, you wouldn't be the father of them. I would be the father of my children. And I feel bad for all the parents that live in California because this is ridiculous. You know, and I was curious. I'm like, isn't the percentage of people that think, or kids rather, that think they're transgender eventually come out and realize, I'm actually, I'm fine with the gender that I am. And I was looking it up. I'm like, you know what? How many? And I found this article. How many transgender kids grow up to stay trans? And, it's a bunch of different things, but deep down, or it was right here. It was out of 127 transgender kids, 63% desisted. 63%. 63% of children who think that they're transgender end up growing up and going, no, I'm actually not. That's a huge number. Okay, there is a discrepancy that says, all right, not all of them have responded. So if you are to take those into account, it's 53%. That's still more than half. More than half of transgender kids, when they grow up, realize they're not actually trans. So California is now saying, well, no, these kids can make the decision to cut their genitals off or mutilate themselves to affirm something that they've had basically been brainwashed. Okay, we're told, look, if you don't feel the gender you are, you might just be, a different gender. Maybe you should snip everything off and maybe that will help you feel better. And in some cases it does. But the majority, more than 50%, eventually find out maybe they're not actually trans after all. That's from a study, okay? So, what, we're supposed to just let the government say, okay, you can go cut your dick off, and you don't even have to tell your parents. Imagine that. Imagine coming home one day to find out that your son was indoctrinated and, felt the need to be a girl. And actually went ahead with it and decided. And then 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, whatever, 25, comes to you and says, I made a mistake and now I can no longer have children because I cut it off. I'm just making a hypothetical situation here, but what's it to stop it from happening? Seriously, right? I mean, this is crazy. You should be a part of your kids' lives, to talk to them. They shouldn't be learning this stuff from California State. It's all, I mean, self-accountability. Abortion, that's a whole different story. I mean, so the whole Texas abortion thing went into place, right? And people were like, oh my gosh. And guess what the left did? They said, all right, ladies, if you're going to have sex, you better wear a condom and get birth control. So it's forcing these people to be responsible for their lives? Good. Good. It wasn't making it illegal. It was making it illegal past a certain point, because for some reason these Democrats think that up until 9 months, the day before it's due, you can abort a baby, which is just insane. I'm sorry, it's insane. And I'm pro-choice, right? I mean, I don't think abortion should be illegal, because it's going to happen no matter what, and there are certain instances where it should be allowed. That's just how I feel. You can be mad at me, but also there should be a point where it's like, it's too late. It's a baby. It's alive. Now, a lot of people would get angry saying that, you know, on conception, it's a baby. And that's the never-ending battle between the Democrats and the Republicans, or the conservatives, and the pro-life, pro-choice battle. I'm not trying to get into that battle right now. I want to focus on the fact that it doesn't matter anymore. Even if you are pro-life and your child, something happens, whatever, they can do whatever they want without your say, whether it be have an abortion or mutilate themselves, forever scarring them for life. We think that kids know what they're doing? I was clueless till last year. I'm 37. My goodness. I can't imagine what a 15-year-old thinks. They think that they own the world. They think that they know everything. We all know it. Teenagers think that they're so smart. People in their 20s think that they're so smart. And then, I mean, people in their 30s think that they're so smart. And as they get older, they're like, I was an idiot in my teens. I was an idiot in my 20s. It continues until you finally wake up one day and go, wow, I'm a conservative. It seems to be the way it happens. All right, I'm spinning out right now because this is such a ridiculous bill. But it continues all the way across on the other side of the country. Former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, I don't know how to say his name. He's awful. He says, I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach. He said that in an argument. And you know what the argument was about? It was about him vetoing a bill that would have forced schools to tell their parents of the kids they're teaching if they're giving those kids sexually explicit material. I'm not joking. Here, I have it. This is from his opponent, Glenn Youngkin, who he was actually arguing with. Here it is. This is the bill that he got rid of. School boards' procedures for handling sexually explicit instructional materials. And essentially, it would have forced schools to say, hey, parents, we're giving your kids these books that have some sexually explicit material in them. Good. Why would they have gotten rid of that? I would want to know if some teacher is trying to show some, sure, besides sex education, which I had in high school, which is fine. I mean, you should learn basis of things, but I'm going to talk to my kids about them, or about all of that stuff growing up. I want to talk to my kids about everything. I want to teach them my knowledge, what I know, what I've learned, what I spent 37 years learning. I want to give them that knowledge, you know, when they are able to accept it and understand it, right? I'm going to be there for them. And that's what this government, school board, school teachers union, they think that parents don't know. They think that parents shouldn't have any say. The government thinks that you shouldn't have any say in what your child does with their bodies, with their minds, with their lives, with what they learn. This is a serious issue. We need to take back the education system because right now it is owned by the teachers union, the biggest union in America. We need school choice. ASAP. We need school choice because my tax dollars are going to, I don't even have a kid yet, right? But my tax dollars are going into the system, which are funding these school systems that are teaching who knows what. And they probably think that the parents shouldn't have any say. What, you're not allowed to watch Zoom calls anymore? Why? Because the parents are realizing how they're indoctrinating their kids. Homeschooling went up 18%. Good. We need more people homeschooling, being a part of their kids' lives. Period. Be a part of your child's life. It should be a pleasure, right? I cannot wait to be a part of my child's life whenever that happens.